Good afternoon, dear boys and girls. I hope you are all fine, and I believe that the online classes are very useful to you all. Today we are going to learn fourth unit, supplementary reader, The Aged Mother, written by Macho Basho. Let us read about the author. Macho Basho, 1644 to 1694 was his time period, is one of the most famous poets of Japan. In Japan, many of his poems are seen on the monuments and traditional sites. Basho was introduced to poetry at a young age and he quickly became well known throughout Japan. He made a living as a teacher but later traveled throughout the country to gain inspiration for his writing. Dear students, before we learn the lesson, let's see the short summary of the lesson. And this is a Japanese folk tale. The love and affection of a son and his aged mother are portrayed in it. The aged mother, the story portrays, that means tells that the love and affection of a son and his mother. It also highlights that aged people will have a sharp wit, and also this lesson tells that aged people are wise people. The governor of shining country was heartless. He ordered that all the aged people must be put to death. An affectionate son carried his aged mother to the summit of the mountain. Summit means mountain peak, the top of the mountain, and kept his mother in a hidden place. The wicked governor ordered that his citizens should present him with a rope of ashes. The son told this to his mother. She gave an idea about how to make it. The governor appreciated the son of the aged mother who made the rope of the ashes. He came to know that the aged mother had given this idea. He revoked the cruel law of killing the aged. Then at last the governor of shining country, he revoked. That means he realized that old people are the wise people, so we must give importance to the aged people. That is what he realized. So dear students, let's read line by line and try to understand the story. The Aged Mother, written by Macho Basho. This Japanese folk tale is also known as the story of aged mother. It highlights that the aged are sharp wit. It describes the love and affection of a son and his mother have for one another. As I said earlier, this is the story that portrays or highlights that the aged people are wise people, and also it describes the love and affection a son and his mother have for one another. Dear students, kindly look into your textbook. Long, long ago, there lived at the foot of the mountain a poor family. Foot of the mountain means down the mountain. There lived a poor farmer long, long ago, and his aged widowed mother. A farmer and also his aged widowed mother. They owned a bit of land. They had a bit of land which supplied them with the food. Through that land, they survived, cultivating the land and getting foods from the fields. And they were humble, peaceful, and happy people. The country shining was governed by despotic leader. Despotic means a cruel leader. The country name is Shining. Who, though a warrior, he was a warrior, had a great and cowardly shrinking from anything suggestive of failing. He is a cowardly person and shrinking from anything suggestive of failing, but health and strength he has. This caused him to send out a cruel proclamations. That means he sent one announcement. Proclamation means announcement. The entire province, the entire state, that means, was given strict orders to immediately put to death all the aged people. The despotic leader ordered that all the aged people should be put to death. Those were barbarous days. This order, when he proclaimed, no, for that days is like a barbarous days. That means that is a crucial order. And the custom of abandoning old people to die was not uncommon. The poor farmer loved his aged mother with a tender reverence. The farmer loved his mother, and the order filled his heart with sorrow. When he heard the order from the shining governor, his heart became sorrow. But no one ever thought twice about obeying the mandate, means the order, official order of the governor. So, with many deep and hopeless sighs, the youth prepared for what that time was considered the kindest mode of death. So, the people, they thought themselves they ready to, do the kindest mode of death. Just at sundown, the day is going to be over. It is like a late evening. When his day's work was ended, he finished that day work. He took a quantity of unwhitened, that means unpolished rice, which was the principle for a food for the poor, as usually rice for the poor people used to eat. And he cooked, dried it, and tied in a square cloth, which he swung in a bundle around his neck, along with a gourd filled with cool, sweet water. He parceled the food as well as he took cool water, the sweet water, he swung, around his neck. Then he lifted his helpless old mother. Kindly see the picture, you can able to understand easily. Then he lifted his helpless old mother to his back and started on his painful journey up the mountain. So at last he took his mother on his back and he started to climb the top of the mountain. The road was long and steep. It was long and steep means the low down road. The narrow, it is very short road. Narrow was recrossed by many paths made by the hunters and woodcutters. The road path was made in many paths by the hunters and woodcutters. In some places they lost and confuses, but he gave no heed. One path or another, it mattered not. He didn't bother about the path. He was keep on climbing the top of the mountain, and he went climbing blindly upward, ever upward towards the high bare summit. Summit means the mountain peak or the top of the mountain of what known as Aptasuama, the mountain of the abandoning of the aged. The Aptasuama is the place where the aged people are abandoning. That means they take their aged people and they will live there and they will die from there itself. So he took there. The eyes of the old mother were not so dim. Her eyesight was not she didn't have a poor eyesight, but her eyesight was in a good condition. But that they noted the reckless hastening from one path to another. The mother was seeing that his son was walking very fast from one path to another, and her loving heart grew anxious. She became anxious. Her son did not know the mountain's many paths, and his return might be one of danger. Dear students, just listen, see. His son was taking his mother to put there to die, but the mother is knowing the truth, but she was thought about his son. When he climbed down, no, that means after leaving her there and he will go to home, so she is thinking about his son. He should not to miss the path. She was concerning about his son. See what kind of love that she is showing to his son. So she stretched forth her hand and snapping the twigs and bushes as they passed. She quietly dropped a handful every few steps of the way so that as they climbed. See, every steps she was stretched her hand outside and she was plucking stretched the leaves and twigs and everything. She is making the clear pathway to realize to lead his son to home safely. That is the idea she was doing. The narrow path behind them was dotted as a frequent intervals with tiny piles of twigs, small, new tender twigs. At last the summit was reached. They climbed the ridge to the big mountain top. Weary and heart sick, he became tired and his heart is full of pain because the youth gently released his burden and silently prepared a place of comfort as his last duty to the loved one. So he was doing the last duty of his loved mother. Gathering fallen pine needles, the pine he collected the that pine needles from the pine tree. He made a soft cushion and tenderly lifted his old mother on it. He wrapped her padded coat more closely about the stooping shoulders, and with tearful eyes and an aching heart, he said farewell. So, at last, the sun started to bite for farewell with a heart aching. That means he felt a pain in his heart to leave his old mother, aged mother. The trembling mother's voice was full of unselfish love as she gave her last injunctions. That means she gave some suggestions, that ideas. She told, "Let not thine eyes be blinded, my son. Be careful, my son, while you return to home. The mountain path is you have to go in a right path." She said, "The mountain road is full of dangers. Look carefully and follow the path which holds the piles of twigs. I have made some signs while you return. The twigs I have plucked. You just see that and you go through that path. They will guide you to the familiar path further down." The son, surprised eyes, looked back over the path. Then his mother said, then the son was looking at the path and also then at the poor old shriveled hands, all scratched. Shriveled means wrinkled due to the old age. The skin will shrinkle, no? That is what. And swallowed by their work of love. She did everything out of love only. Though her son was, taking her to the top of the mountain to make the kindest mode of death, but she showed her love to her son, that her son wanted to go safely to the home. His heart broke within a bowing to the ground. The son, heart broken, he bowed unto the ground. He cried out, "Oh, honorable mother, your kindness breaks my heart. I will not leave you, my dear mother, I will not leave you. Together we will follow the path of twigs. Together we will go and together we will die." He said like that. Then once more he took his mother, the burden, how light it seemed now, and hastened down the path through the shadows and the moonlight to the little hut in the valley. There was a little hut in the valley, so he took his mother there to hide. Beneath the kitchen floor was a walled closet for food, which was covered and hidden from view. There the son hid his mother, supplying her everything she needed, continually watching and fearing she would be discovered. Time passed, and then he was beginning to feel safe when again the governor sent forth heralds. So the son took his mother and he find a house in the valley. So he kept his mother there hidden. No one knows. So every day he gave everything. What are the necessary things? He gave everything, and he became happy because she was safe. Bearing an unreasonable order, again the governor is ordering a second order. He is giving another proclamation that seemingly as a boast of his power. The demand was that his subjects should present him with a rope of ashes. The citizens of a shining country people must make the rope of ashes. This was the proclamation made by the despotic shining governor. The entire province, the whole province trembled with the dread. All they got feared because no one knows how to make the rope of ashes. The order must be obeyed, yet the order must be obeyed. The order must be obeyed, yet who in all shining could make a rope of ashes? One night, in great distress, the son whispered the news to his hidden mother. Wait, she said, I will think, I will think. On the second day, she told him that what to do. The son was asking to his mother how to make the rope of ashes. On the second day, she told him what to do. Make a rope of twisted straw, straw. She said, then stretch it upon a row of a flat stone and burn it on a windless night. He called the people together and did as she said, and when the blaze died down, thereupon the stone, with every twist and fiber showing perfectly, lay a rope of ashes. The gardener was pleased at the wit of the youth and praised greatly. The governor thought that the youth only found this tricky idea, but he demanded to know where he had obtained his wisdom. So the governor started asking, how do you know to make this? How did you, from where did, whom told you, or where did you learn this idea? Then, alas, alas, cried the farmer. The farmer was crying. The truth must be told. So we must to tell the truth. And with a deep bows, he related his story. Then he bowed down before the that shining gardener. Then he told all the story, that he took his mother to the mountain peak. Then he took from home, and he hidden in the hut which is in the valley side. So my mother only told that how to make the rope of ashes. So he told everything, and with a deep bows and he related his story. The governor listened and then meditated in silence. Means few seconds he was silent. Finally he lifted his head. Shining needs more than strength of youth. Then at last he said that Shiny needs more of the strength of youth. Means Shiny needs the old people. He realized, he come to know the importance of the aged people. He said gravely, that means again he said that I should have forgotten well-known saying, with the crown of snow there cometh wisdom. So I forgot that proverb, the crown of snow there cometh wisdom. That means the old people have the knowledge. So that kind of proverb I have forgotten. That very hard, the cruel law was abolished. Then the rule was abolished, means they they withdraw that rules, killing the aged people. Custom drift into as for a past that only legends remain. So this is what the story ends. So dear student, I hope that you have understood the lessons well. This lesson tells that aged people has knowledge and wisdom, and also this lesson portraits or highlights or describes that the true love of affection and the love of a son and his mother. So, dear students, and we should learn to respect aged people. You may have your grandpa and grandmother in your home, so you kindly behave with them with love and affection. Understand? Okay, dear students, we will meet in the next class and with the next lesson. I have given you 2 more question and paragraph question. Kindly.